let's start off with Four Kids and It, which is, as I said, a Jacqueline Wilson adaptation. Not familiar with her works. I believe she did Tracy Beaker, and
Oh, yes.
I think she's responsible for those works. She's a bit after my time, shall I say? I didn't really grow up reading her books. But this is sort of a sequel to the classic novel and production of Five Children and It. And I want to start off by saying I remember BBC did an adaptation of Five Children and It back in the day. And that was such a terrific adaptation. I've got fond memories of that because it was a type of adaptation which BBC did so well back in the day. They did one about a phoenix as well, I remember, with kind of like practical kind of creature effects, and just like perfect Sunday evening family viewing. So I was a big fan of the kind of adaptation of Five Children and It. Obviously, they've brought it up to date. Jacqueline Wilson has brought it up to date by calling it Four Kids and It. They're not children now. They're kids.
Oh.
So they're hip and they're cool, and very annoying. So the plot this time around revolves around some of the worst parenting I've ever seen in cinema, where two single parents, a father and a mother, they've both got two kids from their previous marriage. They meet, they fall in love, and they decide, let's, not take things slow. Let's not kind of hang around, okay? What we're going to do, we're not going to tell our children that we're in a relationship. We're not even going to kind of, start things off gradually, kind of mention each other, and, maybe introduce them slowly and surely. No, we're going to basically rent out a cottage in Cornwall, and we're just going to go on holiday and not tell them until they get there. And that's not going to be emotionally traumatizing at all. So these two parents basically bring these four children or four kids to this cottage, and basically say this is going to be the new family kind of unit. The kids, as you can expect, don't get on at all. They then one day stumble upon a secluded beach, find a magical kind of sand elf voiced by Michael Caine, who basically says he can grant them a wish, one wish per day, and hijinks ensue, and we've got a clip here.
We have something to tell you. We've been seeing each other.
Ugh, that is revolting.
This holiday's a great opportunity for everyone to get to know each other.
Hey, give that back, Samantha.
Oh!
I can hit it. Should I hit it?
No! Hit her!
This thing gives wishes.
One wish a day, but there's consequences.
Have you come across anything unusual? What was that?
Magic isn't all twinkly lights and stardust.
I got great news for you, because this is the best wish you've ever heard.
Wish me.
Okay, so that was like a little clip there of Four Kids and It, and it sounds quite lovely, and I don't think you kind of get an idea in that clip of how annoying this movie really truly is. All the kind of magic from that BBC adaptation I spoke to you about earlier on is gone in this film. I'm sure the book is lovely, and I can only assume that Jacqueline Wilson, who I know has got a massive fan base, has made rich, rounded characters in her book. I'm sure they are. In the movie, however, they are paper thin. They are really grating. The character of Smash is so obnoxious and rude that I just found it hard to invest in any of the characters or the plot at all. She is quite mean, quite aggressive at first. She sort of becomes a bit better towards the end of the movie, but she's still quite annoying even then. And I just sat there thinking, I hate this child. I can't enjoy this movie with this child in it. She gets, for example, she gets to her turn to make a wish, and rather than kind of wish to see her father, who apparently she misses so much, she wishes to become famous. And then there's this whole sequence where she's like a pop star, and that's where kind of Cheryl Cole comes in. And
Of course, the height of pop star.
Exactly. So I gotta admit, I did chuckle when I saw Cheryl Cole, and I was like, "Oh, Dan would love this." This moment.
5-star.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got to say, the magic is just completely gone. There's not enough time spent with Michael Caine's Sanduit, the sand elf. He gets a lot to do in the kind of final act where they take him to their home, and it's like a kind of E.T. sort of sequence where he's kind of stealing stuff in the house, and that's fun, that's cute, but it's not enough of it in the film. Instead, what you get is this really annoying relationship between the two kind of older girls, are really hard characters to like. The parents are just dreadful. They just let their kids run off, do whatever the hell they like. So there's no investment in those either, because they're such bad parents. And I've got to say, I've never thought I'd say this before, the only redeeming quality of it is Russell Brand.
Wow.
Exactly. Who plays this eccentric kind of country manor owner, who has got his own kind of nefarious intentions for the Sanduit, the sand fairy. So he's having fun with it. He just is kind of playing himself, as he usually does, but at least he's having fun with it, and he adds that kind of cartoonish quality that the film is otherwise missing. So you know what? I think out of the two choices that we're going to talk about today, this is probably not one I would suggest for the whole family, only because I think children will find it hard to enjoy. Obviously, if they're a fan of the book, then sure, give it a try, but I don't think there's a lot in there which is very kind of exciting or magical or anything really entertaining for younger kids especially. So I did not take to it at all. Very disappointed by it, especially after the BBC adaptation. And I've got to say, if you're looking for something to watch over the weekend, probably best to give this a miss.